You're listening to Confessions of a Bookkeeper, where we look at businesses through the eyes of their books. My name is Mark, your Chief Bookkeeping Officer, and I spent years cleaning up and reviewing some, let's say, interesting books. In this episode, we're answering the 10 most common questions we get from law firms about bookkeeping, IOLTA reconciliation, and how our process works. If you're a managing attorney or firm administrator, you probably asked a few of these yourself. So let's go through them one by one. Question number 1. Can you start bookkeeping on a specific date? That's probably the most common question we get. Can you start from this particular date and take it forward? Usually the answer is probably not. Unless there's a verified reconciliation or reliable balance up to that particular date, we would likely have to go back further. Think about it. If your IOLTA or operating balances today are built on historical transactions, we need to know the prior activity actually supports those balances. That means looking back to either the start of the fiscal year all the way back to the oldest open matter. It really depends on the data you have, how much disbursement or advanced cost information you've tracked for your clients in your practice management software or even in your book or some type of Excel spreadsheet. The goal isn't to redo all the work that you've done. It's to anchor the current balances to something provable so your books actually mean something going forward, and especially if someone was to take a peek at them, like the state bar. Question number 2. What do you need from us to get started? Very good question, and honestly, it's not that much, as most firms think it is. We'll need view-only access to your operating and IOLTA bank accounts. That means check images, live transaction activity, your monthly PDF statements, deposit slip images as well. If you have practice management systems, we'll need access there too. We'll also ask for copies of checks, deposit slips, disbursement sheets, and any other client balance tracking you already maintain outside of your book, even if it's just, like I said before, an Excel spreadsheet. And if you have business credit cards or payroll accounts, we'll need view access to those as well. The idea is simple. Give us what connects the dots between your bank account, your book, and your clients. The cleaner that bridge, the faster we can rebuild the picture and take your bookkeeping forward. Question number 3 is, can't you just reconcile everything in QuickBooks? We can, but not the IOLTA three-way reconciliation. QuickBooks does what it's told, and essentially you're just doing a one-way reconciliation. A proper three-way reconciliation matches your IOLTA bank balance, your client liability report, and your accounting records in QuickBooks. If one of those three doesn't match, then the reconciliation is invalid. But if you don't maintain them at all, and you only have QuickBooks as your one source, then you don't really have what is necessary to complete a three-way. Now, if you just want your QuickBooks Online account reconciled one way, yeah, that's not a problem at all. We do that all the time for specific types of firms. In those cases, we handle the QuickBooks leg, and then you have an internal team or maybe even a contractor that does the rest of the reconciliation for you. If your firm is practicing family law, we can understand why you'd want to keep the client matter information as private as possible. Question number 4 is, what makes your process different? What makes our process different comes down to experience, not just in bookkeeping, but in bookkeeping for law firms, with the understanding that the IOLTA reconciliation isn't optional, it's required. In the past few years, that's become a major focus for our legal clients, and we built our entire approach around it from the beginning. Before this surge in three-way reconciliation requirements, most of the firms we worked with were smaller litigation practices, a few active cases with a lot easier tracking. But as we began serving high-volume contingency and employment firms, we became fluent in the level of activity that comes with that. We structure our books to be practical, to actually function, to help your accounting operations. Some accounting firms will tell you that the trust account, it needs to live in a completely separate set of books because the money doesn't belong to the firm. And yeah, that's true, the money doesn't, but the account itself, that account is in your firm's name. You can't understand the health of your business if you're missing one leg of it. And how we structure our QuickBooks specifically is that you could utilize your QuickBooks Online account to write your checks. And if you're not doing that, I think it's kind of a risk. So that's where we're different. We make sure your books reflect the full financial picture, including operating, trust, and your client liabilities in a way that's accurate and compliant, but also very usable. Question number 5. Once we engage, what should we expect? It starts with a review. We'll look at your current books, both your IOLTA and your operating, and outline what needs to be rebuilt or adjusted. If your books are up to date, great. Then we'll evaluate your liability tracking and your chart of accounts. If not, we'll start by catching them up to a clean starting point. From there, we'll deliver reconciliations on a schedule, documenting every adjustment so you can see what has changed, why, and when. If we have any questions for you, we reach out at that point as well. It's a transparent process that gets more efficient the longer we work together. Question number 6. What do you need from me directly? Honestly, not much. Mainly approvals, insight, answers to some questions. We'll handle the tracing and categorization. We'll review with you anything involving client funds before it's finalized, and that includes disbursement approvals, reissued checks, or adjustments that need your sign off. You won't need to live in your books. We just need your input when something requires judgment that only the firm can and should make. Question number 7. Once cleanup is done, how do we keep it clean? The short answer is, we do it for you. We'll definitely need your help with one item though, and that is disbursement letters. The cadence of delivering that information to us can be monthly if only a few matters close in that time frame, or weekly if your volume of cases is well over 100 a month. Question number 8. How long will it take to catch my books up? That depends on a few things, your transaction volume and how long the period we need to create bookkeeping for. Let's use a full fiscal year as a time frame. In that situation, a smaller firm with organized statements might require 2 to 3 weeks to catch up. A high volume practice with missing ledgers or handwritten checks, those complications could make it around 2 to 3 months, for example. One note about this is there's going to be a collaboration period, regardless of the size of your firm, of about 1 to 2 weeks, where we need your guidance on certain unclear transactions and you providing us client balance information and disbursement details for the IOLTA reconciliation reconstruction. Question number 9. We have a lot of money sitting in our IOLTA. I think some of that is the firm's income. How likely is that? Well, it's possible, but less likely than you think. In high volume firms, the IOLTA balance almost always includes old vendor payments, client underpayments, or uncashed checks. We occasionally find firm income in there, but it's rare, and only after proving every client matter is settled do we even know. Once a reconciliation is complete though, you know exactly what belongs to the firm and what doesn't. And when it is firm income, we'll make sure it's documented properly and guide you on transferring it correctly so it can be recognized in the right period. Because in trust accounting, probably hours isn't good enough. It really has to be proven. Question number 10. If we work with you, who do we need to keep in-house? This is one of the best questions we can get because it's an operational question. We don't move money for our clients and we don't touch their trust funds. So you always need someone in-house who can sign checks, approve disbursements, and run payroll. That might be a case manager, office administrator, or one of the partners, as long as there's one person managing those outflows. You can automate payroll if you want, but vendor payments and client distributions should stay under your control. We handle the structure, the reconciliation, and the reporting, and you handle the movement of money. So those are the top 10 questions we get during client meetings. And in closing, just know that good bookkeeping isn't just about compliance. It's also about control, because when your IOLTA reconciles successfully and your ledgers match your books, then your accounting systems serve your business beyond just financial reporting. At Chief Bookkeeping Officer, that's what we deliver. A structure that holds up under scrutiny and clarity you can prove.